All right, everyone, welcome back to episode 13.5.
Real Life in Motion. Aloha, friends. Welcome to Spiraling Together, a mother-daughter healing journey.
I'm the daughter, Chloe.
And I'm the mother, Valerie.
Our mission is to create a safe, nurturing space where mothers and daughters can begin a journey of healing and empowerment together.
Through heartfelt conversations, shared experiences, and our personal insights, we aim to foster deeper connections, strengthen bonds, and inspire growth.
Before we dive into today's conversation, we want to take a moment to express our heartfelt thanks to all of you who are tuning in.
Your willingness to expand and grow with us inspires us each day, and we are honored to have you as part of our community.
If you haven't already, please check out our links below and follow us on your favorite platforms so you never miss an episode.
Let's get ready to unravel the spiral
together. Yeah, so today is going to be another one of those mini-sode type episodes. So it's going to be on the shorter side. We decided we're kind of going to implement these more often, just as kind of a way to update y'all on what is actually going on in our lives. And not every episode is a super heavy and long topic that we talk about.
Yes, and it's a time where we're going to be vulnerable about the things that we're really experiencing in real time during our healing journeys and what's going on, and showing that human part of us that we all have, you know, that part that we've kind of been told not to show the world, but that I believe is so important when you're on this type of journey. Being vulnerable and authentic and showing what you really struggle with and go through in your real life. And you're not just showing all the good stuff, you know?
I would also say, I think for me, and hopefully some of y'all as well, this might be a little bit of an accountability kind of a thing. Just because, you know, if I'm sharing what's really going on with me, and if I'm lacking in anything that I say I'm going to do, or, you know, stuff like that, we can keep each other accountable, you know?
You're never lacking.
Well, that's not what I meant. But
we'll just know that, like, this is a journey, and there's going to be times in our lives when we are super motivated, and then there's times where we're not. Mm-hmm. We just have to be okay with that. Like that sometimes we're not doing all the things on the healing journey, or we're, you know, not doing all the things in life to get to the next step. We're just kind of in a lull, and, you know, that's okay.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
There is something that I wanted to say real quick.
Okay.
About our previous episode, because my mind went completely, like, I had a brain fart. The book that I was trying to remember it's called Mary Magdalene Revealed by Megan Watterson. And I just had a complete brain fart. So if you listen to that episode, yeah, I'm sorry that I forgot Megan, because I love that book. Was so transformational. And then also, if you haven't listened to our previous episode that we recorded, episode 13, about spiritual paths and, you know, our evolving relationship with religion, that is one to check out. So
yeah.
I think we went really deep on that one.
And it was really good. It
flowed
well.
Yes.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. Yeah,
and I don't know if you've noticed, we're starting to add some flowers on our microphone from the farm that we're finding outside before our episodes, to bring a little of that divine feminine energy, that beauty into, you know, for us to look at, and also for you.
Yeah, so if you're only listening and can't see, today we have these cute little yellow orchids.
Yes.
And orchids are my favorite flowers, so I'm really excited that we had some blooming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing that you just said. If you are just listening to us, we also do have a video component to our podcast, and you can see that on YouTube and on Spotify. So, yeah. Come on over.
Check it out.
Check it out. So, what's been going on then? Because the last time you were here, it was before I left for my trip for France. And you had already moved to San Diego, but it was like you were just there like a couple weeks and you came back to get more of your stuff. And then, so you have had your first full, like pretty much your first full month in San Diego while I was off in France.
So to start off, all of the positives, I would say I do have like already a solid amount of like friendships there and a lot of people that are around me that I enjoy being around. And I've done a lot of exploring and a lot of just like cool activities. Like San Diego's pretty awesome. They have a lot of free museum days and like friendship gardens to go to for free if you live there. So I've gone to like 4 or 5 museums, and that's really cool. Art is something I really enjoy. And oh my gosh, I wasn't even going to talk about this, but it just came back up. My boyfriend and I, this one museum we went to, they had a new exhibition, and we met this guy. I told you about this, right?
Yeah, you called me in France to tell me about this.
And it was such a wild, like, synchronicity because he was just talking about all these places in the world that are like are portals, like in France and in Sedona, Arizona. And he was talking about how him and his wife have an Airbnb there. And, you know, like he met my boyfriend and I, and he was like, you guys can just come stay out with me if you want to. He was like, you can use the Airbnb. And we like traded information with him, and we talked to him for like half an hour, 45 minutes in the museum. It was really funny, but it was really cool. We realized we have like an effect on like the older generation, and like everywhere we go, we just seem to like really connect with like older people. And I don't know, we just love it. It's cool. I don't know why, but yeah. So
It's really sweet.
yeah, there's a lot of fun stuff going on, meeting a lot of people, seeing a lot of cool things. I went to LA for a concert with like one of my best friends, and that was really fun. And I met a celebrity, so that was really cool. And then we explored Julian, California, which is like about an hour away. We did a little hike up there. I think it's called Eagles Peak. Really hot. I got a heat rash. Luckily at the end, like by the time we already were in the last leg of it. But with that being said, all the fun stuff that was going on, I definitely wasn't focusing on myself. Like at all. Just really getting caught up in like hustle and bustle and things going on and constantly moving. And it did get to the point where the last week that I was there, like my boyfriend and I, we were both burnt out and like stopped just doing stuff. Like being home all day and like not even hanging out in the same room. Like, you know, I think we both, I mean, that transition's definitely really hard, and we're working on that. And we've already had a couple conversations about it, but we'll probably have to have more. And I noticed myself really leaning into like the codependency, which I want to work on because it's not good for me. I know it's not. And yeah.
I love you.
I love you
and
too.
It's really hard for me to not like have that like want to pull energy out of you right now. Yeah, and we've talked about this, and I believe that you like know, like I'm that the only real way to connect is to slow down. It's exactly what you said. So this is like a really beautiful teaching point and something that like Chad and I have gone through for years. I mean, gosh, Chad and I were so freaking codependent. Like we were not away from each other for the first time for 7 years.
It's a long time.
We were extremely codependent. We're not going to go into like super deep stuff, are we? Except for this. Because we said it's a mini, so no. The thing that has helped Chad and I the most is that recognition of the need to slow down.
Yeah.
Because when you're in that constant state of motion and that survival, your triggers and traumas exacerbate.
Yeah.
A lot.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Aloha, listeners. We hope you're enjoying this episode of Spiraling Together. We're just taking a quick break to remind you about a few things.
If you're loving what you hear, we ask you to please follow, like, and subscribe to our podcast. Your support helps us reach more people who might benefit from our conversations.
And we're on all the major social media platforms. You can find us on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok. Just search for Spiraling Together, and you'll see all our latest updates and behind-the-scenes content.
We absolutely love hearing from you. Your comments, likes, and shares mean the world to us. They not only motivate us to keep us going, but also helps us create better content for you.
So, if you have any feedback, questions, or topics you'd like us to cover, please leave us a comment or send us a message. We read every single one and appreciate your thoughts.
Thank you so much for supporting Spiraling Together. Your engagement and feedback are what keep us inspired and passionate about bringing you more vulnerable conversations.
Now, let's get back to the show.
And you are working on it. Just know that the first step of anything is awareness.
Yeah.
And so, you're working on it, and you're being open and honest right now that you saw that,
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's just really, it's weird because first of all, I've never like started out a relationship long distance. And then also never closed the distance. And so I think I thought it would be easier. And I thought that I didn't have a codependence when we're apart from each other. But now I do realize, like, when we are apart, there was such like a routine and a structure of when we would talk to each other. And
then the times when it didn't work, and then how you would feel though.
Well, yeah, it just opened my eyes to actually realize I have that codependence.
Yeah.
That I definitely thought wasn't as strong as I know now. It really is. So now I can actually work on that. Yeah.
Yeah. And again, all these little awarenesses that come up in our everyday lives, right? When we start this journey of healing, it's like you start becoming more and more aware, and then you get to make the choice, you know. And it doesn't mean that like it's going to be that you don't fall off of things and that life doesn't get super busy, but it's just you taking like what is the most important thing to you, and then, you know, putting yourself first.
Right.
You know, which is such a hard concept, and to, especially in the world and the way that we've been raised, putting ourselves first is a hard thing to do.
Yeah.
But it truly does make everything else easier when we can return to the loving of ourselves and then loving others. So,
yeah.
So that's a little bit of San Diego.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Of course.
But there's
It
is amazing.
This is what life is. I mean, it's like the duality, whatever. It's like you're going to have two sides of it.
Right.
I mean, that is what life is like. Every day can't just be rainbows and butterflies, because there's also dog shit on the ground. You know what I mean? It's like,
it's true.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, that's
there's a balance.
Exactly. It's the yin and the yang, the light and the dark, the feminine and the masculine, all of these different things. Like, this is in our lives. And so you can be super happy and grateful. And then also there can be tragedies happening. You know, I mean, that is life, right? Yeah. So it's just being able to be like, okay with that. Like, yeah, it's not all going to be easy.
Yeah. So I'm just going to, you know, work back into more of my self-care rituals and things for myself that don't need to be done with him.
Yeah.
So that's what I will be working on.
Yeah. And that's one of the things that, like I was sharing with you about Chad and I, is in the beginning of my journey. Yeah. It was like, no matter what he was doing, I had to do what I had to do for myself. And then after a while, he started joining in. And then right now, Chad and Logan just yesterday finished a 3-day event in Austin, Texas called Awaken with Danny Morell. It's like a super personal growth, spiritual growth, returning to your authentic self. And that I'm just really blown away because, you know, he chose to go on that on his own, and we, you know, offered that for Logan as well. And that's something I kind of wanted to touch on briefly, is that, you know, during this journey, it's really important to find the tools that work for you, that slow you down and bring you back into your heart space. And it's also really important to invest in yourself and possibly have something that does hold you accountable, because our ego will pull us back into our everyday life and all of the things like that. And Chad and Logan had such a profound experience at this event, like just talking to them. The way their faces look and their whole being, they look so different just over the phone and the way that they're talking. I'm so happy for them. And so in December, Chloe and I, we have already signed up to go to this event in Austin, Texas, the Awaken with Danny Morell. So we are going to fly out to Austin, Texas and stay there and experience this event together, which will be your first event. Yeah. And your first like real, Yeah, I am really excited. And like what Logan said, like, this is going to change your life. Yes. Like, I'm really excited. Yeah, I am too. In our hometown. Yeah, I was born, well, I take that back. I was not born in Austin, Texas. You were born in Austin,
Yeah.
Texas. I grew up there
Yeah.
from the age of like 5 and but
Close enough.
yeah, so it feels like we're going back home
Yeah.
essentially, And so I feel really grateful for that. I'm really excited to have some Tex-Mex and barbecue,
Tex-Mex,
but
Chewies.
really to experience this event with you and
Yes.
and yeah. So
And then see family, of course, because I'm already there.
yeah.
Yeah. Do all the things.
Do the Austin things.
Yeah.
Gonna bring my boots.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring my boots. I'm excited because I don't
Yeah.
really wear them much in Hawaii.
Ooh, I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited too. So yeah.
Yeah.
And so what else are we gonna share in our mini-sode?
I mean, if there's anything about France that you feel inclined to share, maybe not the pilgrimage part, because we did talk about that a lot in the last episode.
Okay.
But maybe the ending portion.
Okay. The ending portion. Yeah, so I just want to talk about, I love France. I really fell in love with it. I'm a very big fan of Europe. Went to Italy last year and then France, and I love obviously the food. And I just gave myself permission to just have all of the yummy French, from the boulangeries, the bakeries. I gave myself full permission. I walked so much while I was there. Like there were days where I was walking like 8 miles and stuff. And I'm not super used to that. So I definitely did have to like rest some and like stopped and got a massage on my legs and my feet.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Exactly.
That's what Logan did in Japan.
Yeah, I was like, I need a foot massage and I need to sleep. And I put my legs up on the wall, that yoga position. But yeah, the food was incredible. And just the solo travel part, I'll be really honest. I had some fear come up, because when you do travel to another country and you don't speak the language, I did have like a weird experience at the airport where we just could not communicate and she got real mad at me and I was like, oh my gosh, is this how this is going to be? Don't be mean to me, but also whatever.
Just teaches you things.
Excuse me. Wow. Excuse me.
Experiences.
Yeah. I have been getting through a sinus infection, so excuse me. But yeah, so my mom ended up coming and meeting me in Paris, and we did a little bit of Paris, and we went to Brussels and Amsterdam, and so I was with my mom for a week, and it was the first time that her and I have ever gone on a trip together. And it was the first time that we really had ever been away from anyone else and been by ourselves. And I really did enjoy the time. And it was also hard.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're with your parent, it isn't always the easiest thing. I don't know. We have healed through a lot, a whole lot. And I just really was kind of a witness more than anything, and realized that there were still things within myself that I needed to work on. And also that just, again, the importance of when you're on a healing journey, this is the lesson that came to me. You cannot expect everyone to be you either get to choose to accept them and then love them exactly where they are or not. Because I see so many people that, and I'm just going to be really honest, after my awakening, I couldn't be around my mom very much. And it was just an energy. It's not necessarily her, but it was an energy that I was trying to heal from. And it's not wrong. It's what that's what trauma does, right? And it was just an energy, and I was trying to heal from it, and I was trying to force her to heal, which is something that I think a lot of times people do on healing journeys. They try to force other people to heal so that they can be comfortable, when in turn, the healing that you do inside of you, it doesn't matter what that person is or what they do. I mean, as long as they're not abusing you, okay? Like, I will put that caveat in there that it's never okay to be abused. It's never okay to be physically abused or emotionally abused. And that's never happened with my mom, physical abuse, whatever. But I'm just putting that in there. But the healing is your healing. Mm-hmm. And you either love and accept for someone for who they are. And deep down inside, I could see things within my mom that used to really trigger me. And it was, but when I looked at her essence, I knew that she was coming from a place, she was coming from love the best way that she could. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's this one time on the train, I was sitting there and she leaned up a little bit. She reached over and she just started rubbing my back. Mm-hmm. And I could just feel like the love emanating from her,
It's really sweet. It makes me want to cry too.
And so, there was just a lot of healing that happened when I could accept her for who she is. And I did call her out on something once. And when we talked about it, it was, it was like, that's not even what I was meaning to do. But when you're a child and you go through certain things with a parent, geez, it's like, you think that they're not loving you, but I feel like most parents really are loving from the way that they know how, right? Yeah. So,
and a lot of people don't get taught how to love.
Exactly. And I see so many people on a healing journey, or that start all of these things that are going on right now that are being pushed out on social media, the people that are no contact, they're toxic, they're narcissistic, Yeah, okay, that might be true. And they also learned that, and the more that you can heal and come back to your heart, isn't the whole point of healing and being on a spiritual journey, aren't you supposed to be leveling up to a frequency of love to have that understanding that some people just, they didn't learn what love really was, right?
Aloha, beautiful souls.
Before we continue, we have something exciting to share with you. We've been using Kono Nutrition products for the past 6 months, including their lemon lime pre-workout, protein powder, and vitamin D3 K2, and we are absolutely loving them.
That's right. I've completely kicked harmful energy drinks to the curb because Kono's lemon lime pre-workout gives me a clean boost without the crash. It's been a total game changer for my energy levels.
We decided to try Kono Nutrition after hearing Alex Connolly, cancer survivor and founder of Kono Nutrition, on the Higher Self podcast by Danny Morell. He discussed the harmful ingredients often found in supplements, which made us rethink our choices, as we know what we consume matters.
With Kono, we're getting clean, effective products that we feel great about using. And because we want you to experience the same benefits, we have a special offer for you.
Use our link in the show notes below and get 15% off your purchase at Kono Nutrition. We genuinely believe in these products and we are excited for you to try them out.
Thanks for listening. And now let's get back to the episode.
And there's something else I want to share that was very beautiful. And so that I'm very...
I was going to bring that up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. One of the things that is we talk about is signs and synchronicities. Mm-hmm. And throughout my healing journey, one of the signs that I've received over and over again has been a heart. I mean, it has been a water splash on the ground that looks like a heart when I'm about to yell at my husband because I'm mad, and then I see it and I go, whoop, return to love. I'm out in the garden and he's about to come out with like the weed whacker and make noise and I get mad and I'm gonna yell at him, and then return to love. Like all of these signs that come through are in this heart form. Well, my mom was like, I have something for you that I really, I want to give you. And I was like, okay. And she goes, and I'm probably going to cry. Well, it's this ring. It's got a heart on it. And it was made by my grandfather, her dad, who literally was my favorite person in the world. Like, I thought he was magic. He was my favorite person in the world. And he passed away when I was in 3rd grade. And I know without a doubt, he has been one of my spirit guides, one of my ancestors that has looked over me, and all of these hearts that I've ever seen. Now I know it was him. Jeez, these mini-sodes are like, I don't know.
It's worse than the heavy ones.
I don't even know if it's like, well, because I think we're just open to being like, what really came up for us in our lives, But, and so, it to me, it's just like this. And I told my mom, and then it was like, I would point out the hearts everywhere. And then she started seeing the hearts. And I explained to her that it was something that has helped me profoundly on my healing journey, having these signs that he's left for me to help to remind me to come back to my heart and to come back to love, and that I don't have to have so much anger.
That's so cute. It's so cute. I know you sent me the text to that, and I just felt like, it made my heart happy because you always talked about how he was your favorite person.
Yeah, he was a special, special man. And I also know that he was hurt, and I also know that he
I don't know why I'm crying.
That's okay. Y'all, we're being real on this mini-sode. See, this is real, like human emotion. I'll always say this, that it's beautiful, and that, whenever we don't always have to be happy, and these tears that come out are releasing energy and releasing these stored emotions that we have, and so it's beautiful. It's beautiful to cry. It's beautiful to laugh.
Do both at the same time.
All of the things that our bodies do are what they're meant to do. This being a human.
Yes, being a human.
And at the same time, being divine. We're both.
Yes, ma'am.
So we have definitely, just in that short span of time of us being apart, we both experienced a lot. I learned some very deep, profound lessons traveling, and witnessing, and just coming, feeling my heart space even expand further from everything, and seeing some of the, shadow aspects that I still have lingering that I'm working on, on this journey.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're doing it, sister.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
Is there anything else?
No, this blew open more than I thought it was going to.
I know, definitely is longer than we thought. Probably
but that's
as well.
I like to bring the authentic us and the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah.
Hopefully, this resonates with some of you, and
Yeah.
We're holding each other accountable, and
yeah. That is also something that I, with the community that we're going to be putting that's kind of I don't want to say kind of, that is the vision I have, a place where we can hold each other accountable, a safe, sacred space that we can drop in and be like, I did my thing today. I did my breath work. I did my yoga. I did the thing that brought me back to the peace within. Or I could use some support,
Yeah. And I guess the vision is like a private forum.
Yes.
Not anyone can get it. Not saying we're going to exclude people, but like if we share things that are private, it's not just going to be open to anybody to look at.
Exactly.
So
yeah, that's in the works.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I think we're good. And thank you all for tuning in. The things that help us, sharing episodes and commenting on episodes and liking and subscribing and giving us a 5-star rating. All of the things that we're doing currently right now are all free.
Yeah.
Every one of these episodes are free and from our own experiences. And so, yeah.
And then I was going to add on top of that, we're on top of what we usually have in the descriptions, we will add in Danny Morell's Awaken event.
Oh, yeah.
Because we did talk about it and maybe link a video about what goes on there.
Yeah. And
it is, sorry. Like, he likes to say, I believe it's 30 years of therapy in 3 days.
Yeah,
is that
something
what he usually
like that.
says?
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then he always shares content from it. And
yeah, it's everything that Logan and Chad told me. It's just like, I don't think there's any other event out there doing what he's doing.
He does, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you want to have your heart blown wide open, that's what Chad and Logan told me. We haven't experienced it yet, but I'm obviously a huge fan of Danny Morell. I listen to his podcast, and you just know when someone is authentic and their heart is to help others awaken to the truth of who they are. So yeah.
Oh gosh, I totally also forgot to mention I did want to bring up Sahara Rose.
Okay.
And how I'm starting her
Oh, yes.
Speak with Soul course.
Yes.
And the Divine Feminine course.
Yes. And so I love that so much. Because again, like I said earlier in this episode, as we're trying to wrap it up right now, how important it is to invest in yourself and to learn.
Yes. So
and from those that their divine purpose here is to help others come back to love. I love Sahara Rose too. I actually got the idea for the flowers to put on the mic because I saw one of her episodes with it.
She's amazing.
She's been a huge...
She does it all. Literally, you can find everything.
Yeah, she's so cool. And she's so open about her life and her multidimensionality and the different chapters that she goes through. And she's a great divine feminine teacher. Mm-hmm. And
so, I want to link her maybe website, podcast as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We always want to give resources for those who are already providing the resources to heal. And so, okay.
I think that's actually it.
Yes. But let's finish.
Yeah. All right. Don't judge her, just love her.
I like this. Okay, that was fun. Holy crap, that went definitely a lot deeper, but I guess they always kind of do.